Beatrice Ndura with the Musings podcast. Why persistence is crucial in our growth journey. Persistence is a very important attribute in our success. It is what keeps us going through tough times, through times of discouragement, and even when we get to the verge of giving up. I learned this the hard way. I always desired to develop a persistent habit in studying my Bible deeply every day and reflecting without missing or without shortening it. And the more I tried, I would go for a week, a month, and then I would reduce the time I'm spending in the study. And until when I realized that every success story requires persistence, in season and out of season. I benefited from a quote by Richard Branson, and I will read it. Every success story is a tale of consistent adaptation, revision, and change. In my journey, I realized that I needed to keep on adapting. I needed to do a personal review and do a revision of what needs to be revised. And also, be open to change. And change is very difficult. We want to hang on to what we are used to. And it required a lot of pushing myself out of my comfort zone, even when I was tired, even when I was not feeling well. And I realized that even the Bible encourages us to be persistent. Let me read a verse in Galatians 6, verse 9. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Do you know we can never reap if we are discouraged? We can never reap the full fruit if we are half-willed, if we don't walk the whole journey and finish. And I realized if we are not persistent, and if we don't engage very well in constant adaptation, in the vision of revising what we are doing, and even embracing change, we will be in a vicious cycle. It is like we will be marching around one spot and never moving up. This is not easy. It requires pushing ourselves completely. We have to create an internal atmosphere of where we are excited through what we expect to achieve. It is a strong challenge that we need to embrace and believe in small habits and small steps. And I'm talking about small habits in a positive way. Take one step at a time. When I started my journey of being serious with my devotion and reflection, I was celebrating every step that I made, and I succeeded. When you celebrate every tiny milestone, you are encouraging yourself. You are celebrating yourself. You are your own cheerleader, and you are able to push on regardless of the weather, regardless of the season. And let me say this as I come to the close of this podcast. Persistence is very important in our journey. Persistence is what motivates us to keep pressing on even in difficult circumstances. However, we need to remind ourselves that consistent growth is the only way we can make big progress. And it is not comfortable. Most of the time it is not. But we have to do it, even if it is uncomfortable. And the beauty about consistent growth is that the rate at which we grow up is amazing. And with that in mind, let us remind ourselves that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. I encourage you to write down things that you have desired to do, areas of growth that you have desired to engage in, but you have not been able to do it successfully. And come up with your game plan. Remind yourself that it is very important, maybe every month, to look into what you can adapt, something new, to look into what needs to be revised, and to look into whatever change you need to embrace. Thank you very much for taking time to listen to this podcast. I encourage you to subscribe to my podcast, Musings Podcast, in Google Podcast, in Apple Podcast, in Stitcher, and also you can go to my website, beatricendura.com, and subscribe from there. You can also get it on YouTube, Beatrice Ndura, and I encourage you when you get to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, give me thumbs up, share with a friend, and even comment. And I will speak to you next time.